I couldn't believe the hush that fell over the courtroom. I felt my pulse thundering in my ears as my ex-spouse's lawyer spat the word coward at me. I clutched the wooden edge of the defense table so hard my knuckles went white. How dare he question my service? Then the judge's gavel glinted under the harsh courtroom lights. Then my heart twisted in my chest. I swallowed. I could barely feel my legs. My palms slicked on the mahogany. I looked up, and that's when I saw him. My drill sergeant uncle, his uniform crisp, medals reflecting like cold fire. I realized in that shattered moment that my reputation, and everything I'd bled for, hung on a single scrap of paper. Then the courtroom door swung open. Then all eyes darted to him. Then time slowed. What happens next? I am Captain Elena Vasquez, a veteran paratrooper-turned-security consultant. I wake before dawn in my downtown loft, the city's neon glow just fading. I slide on my fatigues next to my daughter's pink sneakers by the door. How did I go from leading airborne drops to drop-offs at middle school? I rise to the smell of espresso and textbooks scattered on the kitchen island. I pour the coffee, steam swirling like memories of distant deserts. Then I pack Mia's lunch, turkey wraps and carrot sticks, her favorite. Then I adjust my tie in the mirror, a crisp navy suit now my uniform. I smooth my hair back, though a few silver strands betray the years of combat. I kiss Mia's forehead and whisper, "Stay sharp today," the phrase she teases me about. I slide behind the wheel of my black SUV, heart still pounding from last night's after-action briefing. My phone buzzes with messages from Jenna, my lawyer sister. Everything's on track, one text reads. Don't worry. I arrive at Meridian Security HQ at 8 a.m. The polished lobby, the hum of fluorescent lights, and the shuffle of papers greet me. I give the receptionist a crisp nod. Then I step into my office, a glass-walled capsule overlooking the city. I pinch the edge of the conference table, tracing the faint scorch marks from last month's security drill. I built that table with my own hands in Kandahar. I recall the first time I strapped on my boots at 18, hot summer air, my father's proud salute. Then the roar of the C-130's engines. Then the moment I jumped into the unknown. Back then, my uncle Sergeant Major Harris was yelling in my ear. Eyes forward. Vasquez. His voice still echoes when I'm about to crack. I tuck a framed photo onto my desk. Mia in her soccer uniform, beaming up at me. Then a second frame, my Uncle Harris in dress blues, medals glinting. These two images balance my world, one personal, one professional. I settle into my morning routine, skin threat assessments, review body camera footage, draft security protocols for high-net-worth clients. The coffee kicks in. My shoulders relax. This is where I belong. Then the phone rings. It's my ex-spouse, Derek. His voice is cool, rehearsed. Elena, about custody. My jaw clenches. We agreed on joint custody 6 months ago, but every interaction with him feels like a legal landmine. I walk to the floor-to-ceiling window. The city's skyline stretches beyond. I am ironclad under fire, I think. Yet at the mention of Derek's name, my spine curves. I feel the old fear, the fear of being undermined, of proving unfit. Then I hang up. Then I steel myself. Then I rejoin the team briefing. I lead with calm precision, walking them through a simulated hostage extraction in a downtown skyscraper. My voice rings against the concrete walls. Breach at 0900 hours, I command. My team responds with crisp affirmations. I watch their eyes. They trust me. They rely on my decisions. In that moment, I am unbreakable. But back home, I'm just a mother trying not to break under Derek's scrutiny. After the drill, I head to Mia's school. The late afternoon sun filters through hollyhocks in the front garden. She greets me with a hug and a story about a class debate where she stood up to a bully. Her small voice echoes my own first stand at basic training. I'm proud. Then we share a quiet dinner in my loft, spaghetti, her favorite. I ask about her day. She laughs about her science project. I ruffle her hair. I am her rock. Then the phone lights up again. Jenna's name flashes. I excuse myself. She sounds urgent over the line. Elena, he's filing a motion to question your military record. My fork clatters. I taste metal. He can't, I whisper. I pace the living room. Shadows from the city lights dance across the walls. Mia watches me, concern in her eyes. Not now. Not ever. Then I call my uncle. He answers on the first ring. His voice is steel. I'm coming to your hearing, he says. And I've got something that'll shut them up. My heart jolts. What is he planning? Then the apartment falls silent. Only the city hum remains. Then I tuck Mia into bed. Then I trace a finger over the commendation ribbon pinned on my dresser. Then I wonder, will my service save me in court? What happens next? I feel a chill when I enter the courthouse hallway the next morning. I see Derek's smug smile as he pockets a file. I grip my clutch so tightly my fingers tremble. This is where he'll try to dismantle me. I step into the courtroom, and the air feels heavy, like humid breath against my skin. I hear the low murmur of spectators and the scrape of a chair leg. I settle into the defense bench, the leather squeaking beneath me. I glance at Jenna. Her pencil hovers over her notepad. Ready. I listen as Derek's attorney begins, soft-spoken, courteous. I shift in my seat. That voice is poison. He asks if I ever shrank from danger in combat. I steel myself. I answer that I led 22 successful jumps under fire without hesitation. I watch the opposing counsel scribble notes, lips curling. I feel a quick pang when the prosecutor asks about my emotional stability. I swallow a mouthful of saliva. Emotional stability? I survived Kandahar. I pause. I force a calm. I maintain composure under duress, I say, voice steady. Then I feel moisture prick my lash line. I notice Derek in the gallery, arms folded. I recall the way he undermined me at every turn. Last Christmas, when he questioned why I needed to log extra hours on our daughter's science fair project. Last spring, when he criticized my parenting style in front of Mia. I swallow the bitterness rising in my throat. I feel Jenna's hand on my elbow. I glance at her. I see determination in her eyes. I offer a weak smile. She won't let him tear me down. I step out into the hallway during recess. I run a hand through my hair. I recognize the subtle tactics Derek uses to gaslight me. I remember the phone call 2 months ago, him insisting I never told him about deploying to the hospital bunker, though I have the orders tattooed in my mind. I press my palm to the cold marble wall. My heart hammers. I return to the stand, and Derek's attorney holds up a text exchange. I feel my pulse spike. I lean forward, heart threatening to burst my ribs. I read the message. Are you too busy saving the world to see your daughter? I press my lips into a thin line. He twisted my own words. I refuse to cry. I stare at the judge, lights reflecting off his spectacles. I swallow. I explain that I was overseas in a classified mission when I sent that text, and that I set up alternate guardianship in my absence. I hear a gasp from the gallery. Then a few sympathetic nods. I feel the courtroom shift. I sense allies, even among strangers. I press on. I recall my uncle's words. Don't let them rewrite your story. I draw strength. My service record speaks for itself, I say. The judge inclines his head. I notice a flicker of doubt cross the prosecutor's face. I let it hang in the air. Then I recount the time Derek stood by as I drilled hatch covers in a windstorm, calling my tactics reckless. I watch as he flushes. He never understood. I glance at Mia's drawing taped to the witness room door, a stick-figure mom and daughter under sunshine. I imagine her watching me now, believing in me. I feel a lump in my throat. I swallow. I continue, voice wavering at first, then growing firmer. I have letters of commendation, mission debriefs, testimony from squad mates. I stayed when others folded. I sweep my gaze across the courtroom. I hold the eye of every juror. I see interest spark. I feel momentum shift. Then the prosecutor objects. Then the judge bangs his gavel. Then I'm forced to halt mid-sentence. I close my eyes. I can taste the metallic tang of adrenaline. I open my eyes. I see Jenna whispering, "Hold tight." I nod almost imperceptibly. We're not done yet. I step down from the stand, legs unsteady. I brush invisible lint from my suit. I look at Derek. He's scowling, like a cornered animal. I sense his confidence slipping. I follow Jenna to his side conference room. I pour water into a plastic cup. My hands shake so badly the liquid sloshes. I force myself to drink. Then I place the cup on the table, leaving a damp ring. I hear raised voices behind the closed door. I hear Derek's calm, prepared tone. I press my ear against the wood, hoping for insight, fearing what I might learn. Is he planning another tactic? I step back. I lean against the wall. My boots make a muted thud. I close my eyes, breathing through the tremors in my body. I recall my uncle's promise. He's got proof that will end this. What could it be? I straighten my shoulders. I push off the wall. I walk toward the courtroom doors. My reflection flickers in the window pane, half confident, half terrified. I pause. I slide my hand into my jacket pocket, fingers curling around the edges of something folded. But is this enough? I open the door, and the next chapter begins. What happens when my uncle finally takes the stand? I choke on a dry sob when I return to the gallery and see Mia's tiny silhouette in the front row. I feel my chest tighten so hard I swear I might shatter. Why did I let her sit here? I sink onto the bench beside Jenna, the leather pressing cold against my thigh. I watch Derek rise to question her. I feel bile crawl up my throat. Then he kneels down to Mia's level. Then he smiles that practiced, disarming smile. Then my blood runs ice. I hear him ask, "Sweetheart, do you miss Mommy when she's away saving lives?" I want to bolt forward. I want to rip the smile off his face. Instead, I sit mute, my heart pounding like artillery fire. I glance at Mia. Her eyes flicker to me, uncertain. "Don't fail me now." Then the bailiff's gavel echoes. Then Mia's voice cracks. Sometimes, I clamp my teeth shut when she adds, "I wish she was more here." A hush falls. I taste metal. My daughter wants me more here. I feel Jenna's hand squeeze mine. I close my eyes. I'm failing her. I hear Derek's attorney lean in. He'll use this. I open my eyes to see Mia looking away. My throat constricts. Then the judge clears his throat. Then he asks Mia a gentle question. "What do you love most about your mom?" Mia blinks up at me. I give her a tiny thumbs up. "You got this, baby." Her gaze drifts to me, and she swallows before she says. She gives the best bear hugs. A few people in the gallery smile softly. Then I feel a flicker of relief. I slump, but the crisis claws at me. Am I letting my career steal my daughter? Then Derek's lawyer strikes. "So, Captain Vasquez, do you think a mother who can't be present is unfit?" My pulse rockets. I hear my heartbeat thudding in my ears. This is it. I rise to testify, not just for me, but for Mia. I feel the polished oak floor cool under my boots. I adjust my blazer. Steam seems to rise from my shoulders. Speak. I clear my throat. My voice is low, but steady. I have never missed a parent-teacher meeting. I schedule missions around her events. My team knows she's my priority. I pause, swallowing the lump in my throat. Then I add, I'm here because I fought for this country, and I'll fight just as hard for her. Then silence. Then the judge leans forward. Then I feel a tremor in my legs. I see Derek's jaw clench. I see Jenna's proud nod. I see Mia's eyes widen. Then the prosecutor jumps in, pressing me on travel logs and mission schedules. I feel papery as he lays out dates, Your Majesty of absence. I force my lips into a thin line. Stay calm. I draw a breath, expand my chest. I remember my uncle's words. Proof doesn't need spin. I reach into my jacket pocket. My fingers curl around the paper I folded this morning. Now or never. Then I stand, raise my hand, and present the folded document. This is a commendation letter from Sergeant Major Harris, dated June 14, 2024. I let the courthouse hush swallow me. My voice wavers. It proves I was in theater during my daughter's science fair. The prosecutor blinks. He unfolds the letter. I watch the edge of the paper tremble in his fingers. I feel every breath like a thunderclap. Did he not expect this? Then Mia's small hand slips into mine. I feel her warmth. We're in this together. Then the prosecutor glances at the judge. Then the judge's gaze flicks to the letter. Then time stalls. I taste the dampness of sweat along my hairline. This is the moment. Then the judge clears his throat. Then he asks the prosecuting attorney, is there any question as to the letter's authenticity? The prosecutor's face tightens. He glances at his files, shuffles papers. He shakes his head. No, Your Honor. A wave of relief crashes through me. My knees almost buckle. I squeeze Mia's hand. Then I feel Jenna's eye on me, brimming with pride. But even as relief bubbles, a new dread coils in my gut. What will Derek do next? Then the bailiff calls recess. Then I guide Mia into the hallway. I hug her tight, so tight her giggle vibrates against my chest. I'm so proud of you, I whisper. But what about me? I let her go, smoothing her hair. I gather the letter from the table. Then I look up at Jenna. She nods once. Then she says, we're not finished yet. My heart jolts. What else could he have planned? Then I follow her back through the heavy doors. Then I brace myself. What happens in the next round could change everything. I swallow as the doors swing open and my uncle, Sergeant Major Harris, strides in, boots clicking on marble like distant thunder. I feel every eye in the courtroom snap to attention. He's coming for me. I watch him reach the stand, his chest rimmed with medals, the uniform pressing him into a living testament. I clamp my hands around the edge of the gallery rail. This is it. Then he clears his throat. Then the hall hushes. Then he lifts a manila envelope. Your Honor, he says, voice low and authoritative, this letter confirms Captain Vasquez's deployment dates and conduct under fire. I see the judge lean forward. I see Derek's lips thin. I feel Jenna's grip tighten on my shoulder. Hold steady. Then my uncle unfolds the letter. Then he slides it across the bench to the clerk. Then he gestures to the signature line. I signed this myself, he says. June 14th, 2024, Camp Phoenix. I taste sweat on my upper lip. They can't dispute that. Then my uncle lifts a tablet. Then he taps the screen. Then video flickers to life. Me, in combat gear, directing medevac helicopters as mortar rounds whistle overhead. My voice rings, calm and clipped. Alpha Team, coordinate grid 5/9. Keep civilians clear. I hear a collective intake of breath. I look down as tears wet my cheeks. They see me. Then the video cuts to a second clip, me embracing a local child I'd rescued. His small hand clutching my sleeve. My own voice whispering, "You're safe now." A juror's hand drifts to a mouth. "Mercy." Then the judge clears his throat. Then he asks the clerk, "Is this unedited?" My uncle nods. "Direct from base archives, Your Honor." Unassailable. Then a ripple of murmurs. Then Derek's attorney objects, "Your Honor." Hearsay. Then my uncle holds up a battered military ID and mission logs. "I escorted the originals," he says. His gaze locks on the prosecutor. "Test me on chain of custody if you dare." I feel a swell of pride in him, pride in me. I brush a thumb against Mia's tiny hand in mine. She's watching me as though I'm a hero in a storybook. Because I am. Then Jenna rises. Then she moves toward the stand. Then she presents affidavits from my squad mates, Corporal Nguyen, Staff Sergeant Patel, Lieutenant Ruiz, all attesting to my leadership under fire. Their words steady and unwavering. She saved our lives. I feel a tremor of relief ripple through me. I can breathe. Then the judge surveys the exhibits, the letter, the video, the affidavits. Then he closes his eyes for a moment. Then he opens them, brow furrowed in thought. Then I lean forward, heart hammering. "Please." Then the prosecutor shifts in his seat. Then he clears his throat. Then he concedes, "No further questions, Your Honor." A hush falls heavy, charged. Then my uncle steps off the stand. Then he nods at me, just once. Then he sits in the back row, arms folded, sheet metal resolve in his eyes. He has my back. I feel Jenna sling an arm around me. I feel Mia's small hand in mine. I taste victory on my tongue, but it's bittersweet. We're not out of the woods. Then the bailiff calls the court back to order. Then the judge directs his gaze to Derek. Then he says, "Mr. Thompson, do you wish to proceed?" Derek's face flushes. He opens his mouth, but no words come. He clears his throat. Then he lowers his head. He won't press further. Then the judge turns to me. Then he asks, "Captain Vasquez, any closing remarks?" My throat is raw. I lift my chin. I feel the weight of every doubter in the room lift off my shoulders. I meet the judge's steady gaze. I draw in a deep breath. "Your Honor," I begin, voice soft but clear. "I fought for this country because I believe in hope. I stand here for my daughter, and for every family who trusts our service members to protect them. I ask you to trust mine." Then silence. Then I feel the judge's pen tap his desk. Then he nods once. That's it. I return to my seat as murmurs swell. I feel Jenna pressing her lips to my ear. "You were brilliant." I squeeze Mia's hand. Then I close my eyes. Then I listen to the shuffle of papers. Then I lean into my uncle's presence behind us, feeling the magnitude of what just happened. This is the moment everything turned. What happens when the judge renders his verdict? I feel the courtroom stillness press in as the judge rises. I clutch Mia's hand so tightly my knuckles ache. Is this truly the end of our fight? I notice the judge's robe swirl as he turns to face us. I tighten my jaw, throat dry. Jenna's hand slides around my back in a comforting squeeze. Stay present. Then the judge clears his throat. Then the gavel hovers in the air. Then he brings it down with a finality that echoes off marble walls. Having considered all evidence, he intones, I find Captain Elena Vasquez a fit and devoted mother and a distinguished veteran. Custody shall remain joint, with primary residence as agreed. I feel a thunderbolt of relief crack through me, so powerful I almost gasp. A single tear escapes, sliding down my cheek. We won. Then Mia squeezes my hand and whispers, Mommy, you're my hero. My heart fractures and mends in that moment. I am. I rise as the audience applauds softly. Every clapping hand is a catharsis washing over me. I glance at Derek. His face is a mask of resignation. He lost. Then Jenna leans in, voice trembling with pride. You did it. I can't speak. I nod, blinking rapidly to clear my vision. I step toward the bench. The judge offers a small, respectful nod. I bow my head in thanks. My boots click on the floor as I turn. I'm free. I cross the threshold into the hallway. The fluorescent lights seem softer now. Mia skips ahead, giggling with relief. I catch my reflection in the glass doors, eyes bright, spine straight. I survived. Then outside the courthouse, the midday sun feels warm on my face. I draw in a shaky breath, sunlight, freedom, peace. Mia throws her arms around me. I hug her fiercely. I'm here. I see my uncle standing by the SUV, arms crossed, proud grin on his face. I cross the plaza and wrap him in a hug, surprising even myself. His uniform smell, leather and brass, grounds me. I press my cheek to his shoulder. Thank you. He ruffles my hair and whispers, You earned this, Captain. I nod into the fabric. With every drop of blood, I load Mia into her car seat as Jenna helps with the luggage. I slip into the driver's seat and look at them both in the rearview mirror, my family, my fortress. I start the engine. Then as we pull away, I glance at the courthouse one last time. The facade reflects blue sky and possibility. We wrote a new ending. I drive us home, every turn a release of tension. Mia hums a tune from her favorite song. I tap the steering wheel in rhythm. Jenna chats about dinner plans. I allow myself a small laugh, light as air. I'm alive. That night, I tuck Mia into bed. I linger at her door, watching her drift to sleep with a soft smile. Safe. I whisper a promise. I'll always fight for you. I close the door and sit at my desk, the commendation letter now framed beside Mia's drawing. I run my finger over its glass. I exhale, the weight lifting from my chest. It's over. I stand, walk to the window, and look out at the city lights. They shimmer like hope. I place a hand on the glass. Tomorrow begins fresh. I've learned that truth doesn't ask for permission, it demands to be heard. I've learned that love isn't measured by presence alone, but by every moment you choose to stand firm. I chose to fight. I've learned that family is your strongest ally, whether they wear a uniform or a school backpack. I've learned that courage is contagious. It sparked in me from my uncle, then passed to Mia, then back to me in her eyes. We all lifted each other. If you're facing a battle, whether it's in a courtroom, an office, or within your own mind, remember this. Your story is yours to tell. Gather your proof. Gather your allies. And then stand tall, no matter the doubt. Your voice matters. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to defend your own truth? Comment below and share your story. If this confession gripped you, hit like to show your support. And if you believe in the power of standing up for what's right, subscribe and ring that bell. I promise more stories of resilience, more courtroom confessions, and more moments that remind us we are stronger together. Thank you for watching.